One thing he mentions here that he's talking about teaching. He's talking about teaching. He's saying that if you want to teach, teaching and studying, so especially when you're a student, he's saying that we have in Urdu, you have two words to use in Urdu. One is yaksui, one is gumnami. If you want to read, if you want to study, and you want to teach, you have to have these two things. So all of you, when you're studying and when you're studying right now, when you become farig, when you graduate, then you have to see what field you're going into. According to that, you have to then adjust your personality. But when you're studying, you have to have these two things in what you call in Urdu, yaksui and gumnami. Yaksui means, yak means one, and su means direction. One direction. Only one focus in your life. That is your knowledge. If you don't have this, you will never get knowledge. You can't be like here and there, have all these multiple objectives. I was telling my kids the other day as well. You know, sometimes like in the world of the internet, we're completely lost. We don't even know realities, haqaiq. People don't even know, like, what I wrote on my, I can't remember a comment or send an email, or you're like Ibn Hisham. You know Ibn Hisham Ansari, the one who wrote the Alfiyah ibn Malik on that. I said, Bichara, people don't understand anything. You don't understand anything. That you're just seeing one thing and you're completely lost. So people think this is knowledge, this is the ulama. You don't realize who the ulama really are. Like sometimes they have students doing a vlog of Talibul Ilm, a student vlog. If you get a student vlogging, a student, if you look at the real ulama, the real Talaba and Talib, you will get expelled from madrasa. That you're a student, you have time for the vlog. Like they have you wake up. So the first thing is, who puts the camera when you're waking up? You have to have camera on the whole night. If you have the camera on the whole night, then let me know which camera you're using. I get that kind of battery as well. So you probably put the camera, you went back to sleep, and then a bit of show acting that you're waking up and putting your blanket properly. A talib ilm, you don't have time for that. You wake up, you brush your teeth, and you go to the masjid. And you have tilawah. Then you have what, they're waking up and they say, oh, I have to edit my videos and doing muta. That's not how it works. Then you're playing football the whole day, and then your friends going to the gym, and then a talib ilm doesn't have time to even, like some students, I'm talking about our time, like people I've seen. Some talib ilm, they never even iron their clothes. They're not from Leicester, so they don't have what? They don't have family to wash their clothes. So they have to wash their clothes themselves. So they would do this, wash their clothes, and they would iron their clothes. Because no time. So talib ilm, so when people see online on videos nowadays, what do you see? There's a video, there's a talib ilm doing their vlog. Those vlogs are deception. That's not how you acquire knowledge. Don't follow that. If you follow that, you will never acquire knowledge. That's not how you acquire knowledge. Knowledge is basically you have no time. So there's some people in Malaysia, they don't eat some days. They only eat one meal. Why? Not enough time. If I go and eat, I'll have to waste half an hour. So I have to go and get my plate, I'll have to wait in the line, I'll have to eat, go wash my hands. When I come back, the whole time I have to do mutala. So in our time, there are people, right, 2023, in Darul and studying, they're so focused on their studying, they will sacrifice one meal and say, you know what, I'm not going to eat my lunch, I'm not going to eat dinner. Why? Because I don't have time for mutala. So don't look at those vlogs, people making vlogs on YouTube. That's not how you acquire knowledge. Acquire knowledge means you have yaksui and gumnami. Nobody even knows who you are, and you only have one goal in life. You become like a madman behind that knowledge. And that's how you acquire knowledge. You have to have yaksui. Like he was saying that when he's teaching, what happens? Somebody comes to visit him. Again, he's a head teacher of the madrasa now, so now people come to visit him. He has mihman, he has guests, he has distractions. So he was saying that you have to do this. People need your help, people need dua, you have to go and do bayan, lectures. But he goes, if you really want to teach, and if you really want to write something, then what you have to have, nobody even knows you. La ya'rifu ahadan wa la ya'rifu ahad. Nobody knows him, doesn't know anybody. But you obviously can't do that when you graduate. If you have to go and do da'wah, you have to become a head teacher, you have to do different things. So, but as a student, if you really want to acquire knowledge, even if it applies in school, you have one focus, that I'm going to acquire knowledge and nothing else. Nothing else is important to you. Your clothes are not important, your food is not important, your sleep is not important. The only thing that's important for you is what? Acquiring knowledge. That's what you get. That's what it says. What's the poem? Al-ilmu la yu'tika wa ba'dahu hatta yu'tiya kullak. Until you don't give all of yourself to knowledge, sacrifice everything, you don't get knowledge. And coming first is not knowledge. Because that means you got, it's what he says, when you in Urdu, you have what common? What's the common thing in Urdu? Andome, kana sardar. If you got a bunch of blind people and one person got one eye, he's the leader, ain't it? Because he can see with one eye, other people can't see at all, so he's the leader. So if you got a group of people like me and you who are very low level of knowledge, and you come first in that group, or you get like good marks, it's that you above the rest of them. They're all blind and you got one eye. Doesn't mean you have knowledge. Knowledge means is when what? When you have full dedication to this. So even when you're studying, this morning, bayans and lectures and ikhtilaf and refutations and videos and football, all of these kind of other things, these are all things that distract. You have to have one goal. That one goal is what? Acquiring of knowledge. You have to have that one goal. If you have that one goal, then maybe you get a piece of knowledge. And that piece of knowledge is so valuable. That's the only thing that acquire knowledge. So that's what you have to have. Focus. Even at school as well, even those of you who, because of you go to school during the day, those of you full-time is different for you, but those who go to school, even if you want to get, you have all these little distractions, you know, you have to, even if you want to get good marks GCSEs in A-levels, focus on that. And then for this knowledge, this even requires even more. Why? Because this is what? Knowledge of the Quran, knowledge of the Hadith. And if you want to preserve this knowledge, if you read the story of like Imam Ahmad rahmatullah alayhi, he goes that he'd be whipped, and he would say, Mustaqim on the deen. That no, I will not even change my fatwa for it. It will whip him to bits. Some people gave their lives, some people were hung. Said, no, whatever comes, I will not. That's when you have to be firm. You can't be, wishy-washy. You can't be behind the dunya. And the habits you inculcate now as a student, they remain after you graduate. That's anybody who's been through the system. Those who work hard, those who are focused, those who are dedicated, if you inculcate that in you right now, these things will stay with you afterwards. If you don't keep those things in place, if you have these habits from now, you'll never get anything. Yeah, so you have to have that from now, from the student days, that from now, that focus on what is my goal. My goal is to acquire as much knowledge as possible, and my goal is to preserve the deen and to pass on to the next generation. That's what I want. Everything is secondary. I don't need anything else. This is what I want to do. If you have this objective, then you can be successful. You have to have gumnami, that no, you don't go about looking for name, fame, you don't go about all the other secondary. And the other thing is, yaksui, one objective, one goal, everything, one pursuit. Then you acquire knowledge. And even for us as well, teachers as well, even after you graduate, you may not be able to be gumnam because you have to be imam, you have to give bayans, you have to give lectures, you have to yaksui. And yaksui maybe not just towards only ilm, but maybe towards just da'wah, towards Islam. You can't be saying, well, I want a good car and, polishing my car every week, or maybe I have to change my carpet every year, or change my kitchen. You should what, like, if you come to a situation where what, it's ridiculous now, I need to change my kitchen because the doors are falling apart, the wallpaper is coming apart, the lights are dropping, so no, I need to. I have got no choice. Shasa rahmatullah alayhi, Allama Kashmir rahmatullah. We read these stories that Allama Kashmir didn't become Allama Kashmir by going to the beach on holiday, going to Malaysia and Indonesia for holidays. Allama Kashmir rahmatullah alayhi, once I think his roof started leaking, his roof fell down. So someone said the roof in your house has fallen down. He said, okay, when I finish teaching, I'll come have a look. And he said, go and tell the Muhtarim Sahib, he'll sort it out. I don't have time for that. I too busy. One of them story that Allama Kashmir rahmatullah alayhi, he had, He had diarrhea. Boils. So boils meaning from the rear end, it was bleeding. And there was a court case against the Qadianis. And he was a master in this field. And he said that if I don't go myself to this case and travel and in the court, they're going to lose the case, whatever the implications were. So in this case where he's bleeding profusely, he still traveled and he went for this. So this is like, oh, I'm not feeling well today, I got a bit of a fever, it's not comfortable in the 5-star hotel, and whatever it is, I will do this. So you have to have this kind of jazba, this kind of passion and zeal. This is how deen has come to us. And the truth is, you have people in our time, if you look around, people who are younger than us will come and they will carry this mantle. And these kind of people will always exist. You will say, oh, no, that's extreme, or that's too hard, or that's too thing. And if that's your opinion, then you'll become a tombstone. You live, you'll die, and you have a tombstone, live and die, nobody will know who you are. Only your children remember you for a few years, and after that you lie. If you want to leave a legacy, this is the path of the ulama who left legacy behind. And it's not possible. I mean, in 1980s, people were thinking, oh, that's 1950 stuff. And in 1950, people say, oh, that's 1900 stuff. And in 1900, people said, well, this is 1850 stuff. We can't do it in 1900. And now in 2020, people say, no, you can't do that now. That's before. There are people today. And the people, Allah has always said, what? La yazalu. That's hadith in the Majah Bukhari. That one group of people will remain upon the haqq. So it's up to you. If you want to, willing to give the sacrifice, then you will have that. You will be resurrected with the likes of Abu Bakr and Umar and Ali and Uthman and Imam Bukhari and Muslim and Abu Hanifa, and those will give sacrifice. So this is the kind of aspiration we must have. Even the sisters as well have the aspiration that we want to preserve deen. My family, wherever my reach is, my students, everybody, I can get this far. I can preserve the deen. I study the deen, I preserve the deen, and I pass on the deen. That's what I want to do. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us ability to act upon this. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdihi.